Welcome to the CWC podcast with your hosts, David Selby, Andy Horton, and Savannah Smith.
Man, do you know what the best part of waking up is?
Folgers in your cup.
You're 10 years younger than me, and you know that slogan. That's...
Look, I did grow up with cable TV and commercials and the,
Yeah.
Folgers cup commercials.
You know, that gives me hope that we could brand Relive the Ride so well that one of these days some podcast somewhere is going to be like, hey, relive the...
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the CWC podcast, your home for the latest news, rumors, and updates in the sport of chuckwagon racing. I'm your host, David Selby, and I'm joined by my co-host, Savannah Smith. Today, we're going to run down the current ACWRA point standings after a pretty big weekend in Alabama, and we definitely have some changes on that leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
Later, we're going to be joined by Mollie Howard out of Sparta, Missouri, and she's going to discuss the inaugural Sling and Wheels Chuckwagon race. And they are going to be hosting that there in Sparta near Ozark, Missouri, just south of Springfield. Lots to look forward to, so don't go away. Okay.
I want to know what the Sparta mascot is.
Oh, well, you know what it is. It's a Spartan.
Oh, really?
I think.
You know what? I want to Google this real quick.
Sparta's a small town. I know that much. So I grew
Do
up
they
like...
even have a team to have a mascot of?
Yeah, they're little, but they have they're just east of Ozark, Missouri, which is like a 20,000+ person town. And I'm from a very small town called Reed Spring, Missouri, and we were in the same conference in our sports as Ozark. And naturally, we had a hard time when we played them. I'll just put it that way. The year after I graduated, they changed everything so that we did not ever play them again, because why would you play schools that are 2 and 3 times your size? I don't know. That was my experience.
Okay.
I guess I had to learn how to lose when I was young.
I actually find the response to this so freaking funny. So Sparta's mascot is actually the Trojans.
Yeah.
Which, if you think
Sparta.
back to Greek and Roman history, that was like the Hatfield and the McCoys of the time.
Yeah.
Enemies.
Yeah. I don't know. We're going to have to get somebody on from Sparta to explain this. Oh, wait. Today, stick around. We've got Mollie Howard from Sparta, Missouri. She's going to be here to explain to us why they did this the way they did it. But before we get into it, make sure you get over and check out chuckwagonchannel.com. Relive the ride, as they say. It's $11 a month or $99 a year. We just released Great Wagon Race Season 3, Episode 7. That was the end of it. 7 episodes. Yeah. We're done. We're just sitting here with all this weight off our shoulders now, just letting the people enjoy the show. And if you haven't watched it, if you haven't finished it, get over there and watch it. We were at the race this weekend, and not a lot of service down there, so had to set up the old Starlink and help a few people download it. That's one thing you can do with the Chuckwagon Channel app, is just like a lot of these streaming apps, you can actually go log in and you could go to whatever you want to watch. If you live in a remote area, you don't get good service, you can actually just download the show and watch it at your leisure. So it's kind of cool. Spoiler alert. There is a runoff. Not going to tell you what division, who wins. Other spoiler alert. There is a hero that gets the girl and rides off into the sunset on a horse. So go watch it. Go watch it.
Oh, we love a good cliche.
So key takeaways from Seven Springs Lodge in Tuscumbia, Alabama, Frontier Days. We have to say all of those things every time or we live out information.
Right.
We just recorded Western Sports Roundup, our recap, just a little bit ago, and I just could not seem to get all of that in there and it feel right. I had to do it a lot of times, but a lot of takes. But yeah, key takeaways. How'd you feel about the weekend, Savannah?
I felt
Besides it being like a long way away from us.
This was actually my first race of the season to be traveling to, so it was good to just be back out on the track, in our own little way, the way we show up on the track.
Yeah.
And weather was phenomenal. We had a really nice breeze all the way through. It was good to see everybody, or at least those that also decided to make the long trek out with us.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I had a really good time.
I think they were sitting around 90 teams, so
At
good turnout.
89, I think,
Okay.
was the number we had.
Yeah, good turnout.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Mhm.
That was actually like a really comfortable number. And I know we're going to be at some races that go a little under that. We're going to be at some races that far exceed that this year. But the weekend just kind of was like a good steady cruise, like we didn't have any wrecks or anything that really held the day up, either of the race days. We were sitting there expecting like definitely going to get some kind of torrential downpour. We're going to have some kind of storm or something
Mhm.
that we have to work around. And you know how the good Lord works on these things. He just said, "Hey, no,
Yep.
let me just move this over. You guys enjoy nice, beautiful, sunny
Enjoy your
weather."
weekend.
Yeah. So, actually, I think like a little bit of the rain kind of helped to start the weekend off because it wasn't as dusty. By the time we got into Sunday, and it was kind of warmer,
Mhm.
and we were getting a little bit more dust at that point. But man, I heard a lot of people say really good things about the track. I feel like people were moving well around the track. It was like good grass that was kind of sticky. I don't think anybody was drifting out too much. We weren't seeing too much dust or anything like that. And yeah, really good race weekend. We had a couple of exciting moments there. Um, yeah,
Good time.
pretty good little national anthem I heard that second day. Not really sure what happened there, but
I wonder who sang that.
I don't know. I can vaguely remember there was an issue with the soundboard. I may or may not have messed with it right before the show started, and then lo and behold, I had to sing the anthem. I didn't have a
Oh, so
choice.
this was orchestrated. This was
I didn't
planned,
say that.
premeditated.
I didn't say that. I just said I may or may not have been the person that last touched it before
Oh.
it was time for the national anthem to start, and I may or may not have been standing really close by and was able to get the mic and save the day, like I do sometimes. So good. It was a good day, especially that day, and I was pretty impressed with the whole weekend. I think Danny Foster and his crew again put on a good show. They
Mhm.
opted to do more of a bull riding rodeo, like exclusively more bull riding on Friday night. Shout out to Matt Howard for being the stock contractor there. And so rather than kind of get there and work through all these different, you got some breakaway roping, and you got some tie down roping, and you got all these different things that you do, some barrel racing. It was just bowls. And I think
Mhm.
people enjoyed that for that first night getting in there. It was a good way to kind of start off with a bang. Um, and then there wasn't rodeo the second night. It was just like ranch rodeo stuff. And that was good. And you
Yes.
were really there filming that.
The crowd really got into it as well. I'm pretty excited about the shots that I was able to get, but they had a 3-man team and you had to sort 2 steers out while not letting the other group out into the arena area. And they had to rope and tie down one and then rope and load the other end of the trailer. And you couldn't run the rope through the trailer. You had to get off, be on the ground, manually load him, and then load your horse up behind it, and then jump onto the back of the trailer. And I may not have made it sound quite as entertaining as it actually was, but it was really fun to watch. The teams were competitive. Like I
Mhm.
said, the audience was really hyping up the people getting into it and just cheering them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just all good vibes, all good emotions.
Yeah. I just feel like people came away from that weekend on a good little high. And,
Mhm.
we talk about how we see all that activity that comes out on social media and stuff after the races. I just feel like it's just going up. Like the activity is going up. Like I'm seeing
Mhm.
tons and tons of posts, people that are recording races, people that are taking pictures, people that are riding and taking video of them, whatever they're doing. And that's awesome. I just want to encourage people to keep doing that because that is the kind of stuff that just slowly pushes that
Mhm.
the race, the event. It's I guess it's word of mouth, modern day word of mouth marketing. So
Is
um,
it word of mouth though?
kinda. I mean,
Is it
kind of.
digital? I mean, maybe. I guess if
It's
we
how
want to
we
get
all
real
talk.
technical, but
That's the only I only communicate with my friends through Facebook anymore, so it's kind of, it's just how it is. It's how me and my wife talk throughout the day. We use Facebook Messenger. We use it a lot. Yeah. Well, what do you say we get into some news and notes here? Speaking of Seven Springs Lodge, they're going right back there for an outlaw race. Outlaw race, but it's the kind of the entry point this year for Southeastern Chuckwagon Racing Association to get kicked off.
And it's going to be a
So
money run. I think
yeah,
Danny was pretty adamant that we call it Seven Springs Lodge Money Run.
yeah. So
Guys,
he's
run in for money.
yep. That's a nice incentive,
It
get
is.
paid.
Yeah.
So they're going to have that going on September 18, 19, 20. And they said they're already filling up. The crowd, I mean, we didn't even mention the crowd. The crowd showed up and showed out. Saturday, I was flying the drone on Saturday. Just a beautiful scene, a beautiful sight to see. Tons of people show up for that race. They're 12 or 13 years in, I think. So maybe 13 because they started in 2014. So I think that puts them at 13 this year. And just a great turnout. Beautiful, beautiful ranch. Such a cool place to watch a race. And they're already getting busy. So I think a fall race is going to do well there. So make sure you're there. Let's get into some standings brought to you by our friend Courtney Pillow Lee. Not Pillow anymore, just like a hyphenated Pillow
2
Lee.
times in a row.
I always want to say Pillow, but that's, when you know somebody before they change their name. Just shows how close of friends we are. Yeah, Courtney Lee and the Bent Shank Ranch. I decided to plug them there because they do a lot for us. She got the updated standings to us while we were still driving back from the race on Sunday. So she was on top of it. Isn't she lovely?
She is so lovely. We missed her this weekend.
Yeah, we
and
did.
Riley.
Yeah, I didn't get my hug. Big Horse Rubber Tire. Let's get into it. So things shifting just a little bit here as we kind of start moving into the race here. Bad Luck and Trouble and Freight Train. They're tied for first with 29 points each. BS Racing is right behind them, but 10 points behind because they have just not been able to get the outrider problem fixed. Trump Train is hanging out with 5 points behind
BS
them.
Racing is actually lagging by 19 points because they only have 10 at the moment.
Oh, they only have 10. Okay.
Yeah, they're right behind Bad Luck and Trouble and Freight Train with 10 points. We'll probably see him bump up a bit at Whiskey Ridge if he can get this outrider situation figured out. But
yeah,
in his defense, there were a handful of people having some outriding issues. I don't know why. I don't know if these horses were just a little fresh. They stepped back a bit.
Yeah, and Justin, I was talking to him at race 1, and he was telling me how one of his biggest goals is to take the Big Horse Rubber Tire this year, but he does not let off, like he's not going to wait on an outrider. And I like that. I like that about him. But he's not going to do his outrider any favors. So it does make it hard whenever you don't get an outrider on a weekend and you have to take that 5 or whatever,
Yeah. 46-inch Mules, Hickory Plains Outlaw is holding on to that first place spot with 30 points, which is no surprise to us. First place 2 times in a row, holding that perfect 30. However, place 2nd through 3rd have switched up. We see Whiskey Ridge jumping up from 3rd into 2nd with 26 points. And then Where's Robbie from 4th place into 3rd with 24 points. And then poor old Ain't That a Mess drops down from 2nd all the way down to 4th with 19 points. So we did a little swapping around there.
Mm-hmm. And the 46-inch ponies, Derek Hands, he's just perfect, isn't he? 30 points, leading it, takes the first 2 events. Ain't Scared, 25. I'm just going to say it, with an accent. 25 points, holds first and second place, respectively. Derek Hands and Ain't Scared right there. FSR Pony Edition bumps up from 4th to 3rd with 22 points. B&B Farms enters the scoreboard in 3rd place with 14 points, and that bumps Mama Said Go down to 4th with 13 points.
We've got another back-to-back first-place team in 52-inch mules. That's going to be Mount Vernon Mulemen holding first place so far. Trump Train number 1 hold on to their spots from race 1 as well in 2nd, while Bad and Bougie jumps up to 3rd. Wanted and On the Run, and then Trump Train number 2, both tie at 4th with 14 points each.
I think that the trick for Mount Vernon Mulemen is they go and they have a really big time when they go to these events.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, evening, we walked over to the saloon, the Rattlesnake Saloon, and who's surfacing? But the whole Wessner and Wiles family just walking out of there looking jolly, like they just had a good time down there. Enjoyed some music and some good food. Okay, and the 52-inch ponies. Got some shakeups here. Freight Train, they fly into first place with 28 points. Running Blind moves up to second with 27 points. And Derek Hands is now in third with 20 points. Blonde and Bougie and a little bit of B&B tied with 18. I feel like we're watching out for Derek Hands here because he's super fast, and I just expect him to be nipping at the heels of whoever's out there in front of him.
I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for Freight Train.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm rooting for Derek Hands. I'm just saying I think that is the person that you cannot get too comfortable when you're out front.
No, you cannot. But I do know from, the few interviews that we've had with Liv, she is pretty determined. And I believe she mentioned getting some new ponies. I want to say it was a set of 52-inch ponies, but, don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
But moving on to buckboard, we've got first through third place remain the same as they did heading into this weekend. Full House with 30 points, Full Throttle Loca with 28, only 2 points behind, and then Rarin' to Go holding 18 points. Keystone Express now enters our scoreboard in fourth place with 13 points, knocking Rockin' Rhino down to fifth with 5.
In the big mules, Bad Bougie and Wide Open. That's all one team, by the way, not 3. They maintain first place with 28 points. And Sue's Pond, they go from 5th up to 2nd with 25 points. And Diamond S Express, who was telling me how tough the weekend was going to be before the race started, they move up to 3rd, swapping spots with Diesel Donkeys, who's now tied with Freight Train with 18 points. Yeah, it's talking to Tracy, and he was telling me he was pretty concerned about that hill this weekend. And they got out there and they ran that track. So I guess, you never know. Those mules, I think maybe some people's mules just go and run around for fun because they're excited to go and do these races. And so you just never know how they're going to show up. But yeah, the big mules are fun.
With that being such a small hill compared to Clinton, and the fact that those mules are seasoned veterans, that they took it in stride.
Absolutely.
Our classic teams, we now have 3 teams on the board. Rarin' to Go is still in first with 28 points. He took home that 3rd place buckle this weekend. Was that right? 3rd place or 1st place?
Rarin' to Go was beat out. They were beat out by BS Racing for sure. I'd have to look back at our standing, at our results, which I actually
that makes sense because B&B Farms took home 2nd. I believe BS Racing took home 1st, and Rarin' to Go had the 3rd place buckle because I thought the 3rd place buckle looked the coolest out of the set this weekend. The things that you latch on to. Anyways, Rarin' to Go's got 28, BS Racing has 20 points, and B&B Farms is now on the board with 14 points.
Yeah, B&B Farms. We expected them to be quick, and they were. They came out and ran a 53-54 for 2nd place, but they were a solid 5 seconds behind BS Racing. I'm excited when I look at the season ahead and I see a team running as fast as BS Racing. And actually, I said 5 seconds. It's closer to 6 seconds. So a 47.77 for BS Racing. They ran that on Saturday. And, they could not, for all the struggles that they're having with the Outriders and the Big Horse Rubber Tire, they're getting things to work in the Classic. And that bodes well as we just inch closer and closer to the national championships in Clinton, Arkansas, and that ultimate goal of taking home the big old plaque over there. All right. Well, that wraps up the standings, and we are going to get into our guest segment. We're going to bring on Mollie Howard, who is starting the Slingin' Wheels Chuckwagon race out of Sparta, Missouri, and we're going to see if she's ready to go.
Brian's coming, and we brought Lily with us too, so she can rep
No.
her brand also. Come here. Yeah, you can see. We brought Lily, little bit of
Oh,
B&B.
how precious!
Just a
Look at
lily
that
bit.
blonde
Just a little
hair.
bit. Yep.
How old is Lily?
Okay, have a seat. Lily's 4.
She's 4. Okay, because I got a
Yep.
3-year-old and I got a 5-year-old, and I was just trying to think what levels of like listening will they do? Because when all the way through 5, it's been no listening at all. So I would assume that we're probably not going to get a whole lot of.
She's pretty excited about this race, and she asked me this morning, "Do we have a million more sleeps?" And I
Yes,
said, "No, we just have a few more sleeps." So
that's my daughter Stevie. She's 5, and she's always saying how many more minutes until we get there, and she knows that
Too
60 is
many.
an hour, and
yeah,
and then she's always talking about how many more days until Christmas, and
right.
yeah.
Well, we're still in the how many more sleeps.
And
So
then every time she wants to say something about like what happened last year, she says, "When I was 4," and she'll just tell you about whatever she did like last year.
Mhm.
I don't know why she does that, but glad to know she's not alone.
Yes.
Well, let's get into it. So we're on here with Mollie and Brian, and soon hopefully Lily for a minute or two, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the race, the Slingin' Wheels Chuckwagon race. First of all, Slingin' Wheels. Who's slinging some wheels? Who came up with the name?
Well, we had a bull ride event at our house a couple of years ago, and it was Sling and Steel.
Oh,
My oldest grandson, his last name is Steel. So the bull ride was Sling and Steel, and he said, "How about chuckwagon racing, slinging wheels?"
Cool.
We went with it. It sounded good.
Have you guys thought about like what other things you're going to have to put in now that can work with slinging, like slinging barrels, and what are you going to do next?
We have with some of them. We probably should just not say today.
Okay.
on the podcast. So yeah,
So,
we'll be slinging some stuff. I'm sure.
so all right. So where does this all start? Where did this idea come up? How did it come to fruition?
Well, I think Brian and Gerald Burkhalter and Shannon Campbell kind of decided that our hayfield looked like a really good place to put on a race. And I was like totally against it. Like, absolutely not. We don't have room for this. You know how much money this takes? Do you know how much time and effort this is going to take for us? And, you know, it, they decided we plugged our nose and jumped in pond water, is what I say. Can't see the top, can't see the
Yeah.
bottom. And we just decided to go with it. So we've got Lily Racing, and, we want our place to be a racer's race. And we've got the opportunity and the heart to do it. So here we go.
sounds very
Absolutely.
wholesome. So for people who may not be familiar yet, can you give us a quick overview of, what you guys have in store or planned so far?
Yeah, on gates open on Thursday, 9 a.m. We don't really have any official events or anything planned for Thursday. Just people coming in, racers a lot of times want to come in early and kind of ride their horses and work their horses and stuff. On Friday at 10 o'clock, we will have a pasture open. Phil Rose and his daughter Amber Rose are gracious enough to put in our pasture open at 10 a.m. We've got I don't want to say friends in low places, but we've got Framily, which is friends family, playing on our stage that Brian has graciously built for us. We have an announcer stand, folds out and makes a stage. It's awesome. It's covered.
Heck yeah.
And so we're going to have music on Friday night. Oh, I forgot. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, we will have an organized trail ride through our farm and the neighbor's farm. So we've got that event going on. Saturday race time at 1 o'clock. And Saturday night at 6 o'clock, we will have the mini buckers, which is Rafter 3C is putting on mini bulls for the kids
Nice.
ages They have walk trot bulls up to the 14-year-olds will happen in our arena there. That's at 6. Friday night at 8 o'clock, High Gear Logistics has sponsored, or Saturday night, I'm sorry. Saturday races at, 1 o'clock. Ozark Storm will be the band that is playing at 8 o'clock on the infield. And that is sponsored by High Gear Logistics, Shannon and Bren Campbell. And we are super excited about that. Of course, 1 o'clock race time on Saturday, 1 o'clock race time on Sunday. We have racers of all ages. We have racers that are just starting to race. We have some old school racers as far as like B&B Farms from Bryant, Indiana. We did have a little trouble with people not having outriders. And so I put the word out for outriders. We have gotten lots of feedback for that. And I am excited that our event will be able to have those outriders that have never done it before and need the platform to learn.
Yeah.
And we have racers that are so experienced that they will be able to give the insight to those young people that have not done it before. And I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll start a whole new thing of outriders just by
Hopefully
having
so.
this event set out
The
Fingers
sport needs
crossed.
more.
and so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
sport needs more
So,
outriders, and I know that
yes, it does.
you mentioned, them learning. Feel free to send them over to the Chuckwagon channel. They can watch a lot of game film there
Yes.
on what to
Mhm.
do, and really, I think more importantly is what not to do when you're out riding.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
And that's my Nana heart preaches that. When they have called in, I was like, I will try to put you with someone that's experienced, but I want you to know that you take care of you first, your horse second, and then if you can finish the race on all 4 feet, then that's what we want you to
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
But safety first.
yeah,
I mean, you have to be a little off somewhere for this sport. And so it's not for the weak of heart. So them stepping out there to try this means a lot. And we're very appreciative of those who have called in and want to try. So
absolutely. So what are out there at your? I guess are we calling it a ranch farm?
we just call it the
Call it the
farm.
farm out there on the farm.
Yep.
So talk about the amenities, talk about what you guys are going to have in year 1 that's ready to go for people that are coming in that, they need water and camping stuff and vendors, etc. What's it going to look like when somebody drives into the farm?
You'll be pulling down our driveway. This is the home that Brian built me back in 2016 on a farm that has been in my family for over 100 years. So this is the last place I'll live, and we're opening it up to people. We want would like our community to see what we enjoy doing as far as the Chuckwagon sport. And I want Lily to be able to experience all of this also. So when you pull in the driveway, we'll have water. Water's provided in the camping area as well as at the arena. We'll have places for the foot traffic, cars to park. Foot traffic will go right past our vendors that we have. We have barbecue vendor, a burger vendor, chicken vendor. The barbecue guy fries fish. He's going to provide breakfast, or he will have breakfast available for some of the campers and stuff that come early in the morning. Of course, the all infamous porta potties, they'll be around everywhere for people. We will have flatbeds available for people to sit on. Kind of wanted to provide a safe environment for the people that have never been to a Chuckwagon race, that have the kids. Our admission, we have chose to do 14 and under free. I want families to be able to come, enjoy the races, bring their kids, and able to go to a vendor and buy a cheeseburger. We have an ice cream vendor. We have a coffee vendor. So I want them to be able to bring their kids and do some fun stuff like that too. So we've got safety for people that have never been to a Chuckwagon race, and the old farm style amenities for those of us that are primitive campers, and bring your generator and camp in the pasture where the cows are. And yeah, so, and everybody, we can ride around the farm. um I love our place. Our house is built where I can look out across the hayfield. I can actually sit on my front porch and watch the races if I want to.
Cool.
That is
So
amazing.
it's, yeah, I love it.
Well, do you have any rules or anything in place that that any attendants need to be aware of, or uh,
um Go
no,
ahead. Sorry.
no, you mentioned 14 and under is for free. That is awesome. That is something that's really unique that I don't know that we've seen before. That makes it very family friendly, very supportive of new people coming in and just experiencing it. So that's overall, it's really awesome to hear.
Yes, thank you. Like, we don't want side by sides or four wheelers
Mhm.
on the
Mm.
place. It just isn't conducive for a race friendly, for our place.
Sure.
It's not. We're not, so the track is centrally located, and it's not very far for you to walk on foot to get to any of the vendors, the camping, where you park your car. So no four wheelers or side by sides.
Mhm.
Of course, we definitely don't want any glass on the place, because
Mhm.
this is our farm. This is where we, raise our cattle, our kids, and everything else. So, other than that,
If you bring it, take it.
if you
Mhm.
bring it, take
Yeah.
it. Of course, all the trash, we will have big trash dumpsters set up for trash. But just treat it like it's yours, the cowboy way. If you open a gate, shut it. So
Yeah, and I know you. So for those that don't know, so Molly, you announce up there at the B&B Farms Chuckwagon race in Indiana, there, Bryant, Indiana. Uh, so has that been kind of some of? Has that been part of the influence on you to want to do something like this? And I'm assuming you're announcing your race too, right?
No,
I am not announcing my
Oh.
race. Yeah, I don't think there's enough alcohol or sedatives for me to be behind the microphone on my home
Yeah,
turf.
and run the
I just don't
operations.
think I could do it. So I have a young man named Caleb Claybrook that has done a lot of PBRs and a lot of professional events. This will be his inaugural
Wow.
announcing for the Chuckwagon race. But he is a very fine young man, and he's great to listen to. He's done a lot of the bull rides that we put on at the house. And so I'm sending him to the Chuckwagon channel
Cool.
to listen to Danny Newland and the guys that announce, so that he has some background into the event. He will be announcing the bull ride and stuff like that too. So our opening ceremonies, Skylar Campbell is going to carry the American flag for us, and Lily may make her appearance there too. So we want it to be family. If it wasn't for Bryant, Indiana, Gerald and Nova Burkhalter, Don Kaler, I promise you, he would not have talked me into having this
Yeah.
race.
Well, they travel like
And
a little village for sure.
Mhm.
yes, definitely. The family that we have come together, no blood, but heart and soul. That's why we're doing this.
Very
So
cool.
I want Lily to be able to enjoy this for the rest of the time that she wants
Mhm.
to. So if we can give it, then we will.
No, that's amazing.
Go ahead, Savannah. I'll let you take the next one.
Oh, okay. Aside from this nice new stage that you guys have built, what else have you been doing to prepare for this race weekend?
Brian's built a lot of fence, and he's got a lot of brush hogging. We're going to have to get our hay up out of the hay field before we have the races. He's done a lot to improve our farm, and that makes me happy. The races kind of kick you in the rear end and get you going on
Right.
stuff.
There's nothing
So
like having company over
um,
to get you to clean the house.
correct. You clean the house. Exactly. Exactly. So the stage is portable too. So we're going to be hauling that to Bryant, Indiana, the end of
Oh,
July
wow.
for the B&B race.
Wow.
yeah, this vision that Gerald and Brian and Shannon all put together. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's kind of like a self-contained um, wagon stage announcer stand that will haul the barrels, the banners, and everything else. So you can keep everything together. And yeah, so
That's
I don't know. We'll see.
That's really cool. That's pretty hardcore
Yeah,
also, to build a stage slash announcer stand.
yeah,
I am anxious to see what it looks like. I want to know.
yes, it's pretty cool.
Man, so I know you guys, I know you said you got B&B coming down there. You're going to have some people coming in. You've been doing all this preparation. You've taken an idea and it's becoming a reality. Since having the idea and bridging the gap between that and now what is really going to happen, you're really having a race there on the farm. What has maybe been like the biggest surprise or the biggest, obstacle or thing that kind of was unforeseen or maybe misunderstood that has maybe caught you by surprise a little bit?
Um,
The time we don't have.
yeah,
Yeah.
the time really gets away from you. You think like when we first started with this, like we jumped in, made the announcement for Memorial Weekend. We've been to rock bottom for years and years. And besides Clinton, rock bottom was one of our favorite races to go to. And unfortunately, they're not doing the races this year.
Mhm.
So we jumped in Memorial Weekend. We know we're going to have the competition with Whiskey Ridge, that the event is at the same time, but maybe we're just like the outriders that are coming to us. Maybe this is just a gap to bridge the gap between traveling so far to have to learn to coming to someplace more centrally located where you can get your feet
Oh,
wet
Mhm.
yeah.
and you can learn more about the process. Also, because there's nothing in our area like this, we thought the community might enjoy. Um, we live rurally, but Ozark, Sparta, Springfield, Rogersville, Branson, we're kind of in the middle of that hub. So maybe we can draw some people that have never been to a race to our event.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess time um, and just not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We don't know what to expect as far as who's coming besides racers. We don't know what the public's doing. Really good we've had a lot of people a lot of good feedback and stuff from people from our Facebook page, the Sling and Wheels Chuckwagon race. So that has helped us, and that's kind of put us out there,
Yeah.
and we're flying by the seat of our
Well,
pants.
and that
So we'll
that
see.
area is very much like home to me, growing up right there, Reed
Yes.
Spring, and just hanging out in the Nixa,
Yeah.
Ozark, Springfield area my whole life growing up. And I lived in Springfield for years, and that whole area. I mean, there are so many people, and I believe there are so many people there that would enjoy having a chuck wagon race right there, just right outside of the Ozark, Springfield area, which isn't completely unknown to the area either. I mean, this is the
Right.
10th year that they're having Baker Spain up there north of
Yes.
Mount Vernon. And then you've also got, you used to have Rock Bottom, which really, if you jump down
Yes.
65, is not that far. So
No.
it's not completely unknown to the area. I think as you guys reach more and more people and kind of get the word out there, it'll be really cool to see how people show up. And season year one is going to be what year one's going to be. You're going to do as much as you can,
Right.
but you think about year two, when after it happens and the people go post on their social media and the word gets out
Mhm.
there, and then we've got video of the event, and we start
Yes.
leaning into that, like next year. I just think it's a great area to have a race. And I think that there's a lot of rural folk like in that area that would enjoy it. I think it makes total sense. So, and
Right.
then as far as like the weekend that it's on, I mean, there's really not a better weekend out of the year to maybe get some overflow. I mean, we had 160
Right.
plus teams at Whiskey Ridge
Mhm.
last year, and
Yeah.
so I would assume the sport's not going backwards. And I say I
Right.
assume, I know it's not going backwards. So um, as far as you guys having another race in another place, I don't think there's a better weekend to get, because I think having a 3-day weekend is a huge perk,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not a better weekend that you could probably start letting that spillover come right to you. I think
Right.
that's all the things. All the things are good in my opinion. So I
Yeah.
like it.
I forgot to mention that we are having a celebrity race. So, celebrity race will
Brad Pitt.
be one of the rubber tire wagons, either a 46 or a 52 inch. And we will have people, two gentlemen that have never raced before. One has never been to a Chuckwagon race. The other one has been to the Chuckwagon races, but has never gotten in a wagon. But he may be getting a little big for his britches. But they're going to jump in a wagon. And I think we're planning on doing a 50-50 drawing for the winner of that. The money, it's going to go, the money that we raise from that particular celebrity race will go to the Christian County Sheriff's Department for the officers, the fallen officers that passed away here a month or so
Mhm.
ago. So I'll have a Christian County deputy in one wagon,
Possibly the sheriff.
possibly the sheriff, Brad Cole, and Coy Burton from Tulo Farms will be the other celebrity that we have. So he's from Clever, Missouri.
Nice.
So we're excited about that because the crowd should like that.
Yeah.
Two guys jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that.
It's
Oh, that
awesome.
is awesome. So aside from that very exciting piece, what else are you most excited about, and what do you think makes this event so special?
I think it's because it's at our farm,
Mhm.
and probably in my heart is because Lily will get to experience that at her home. She really enjoys all the people that we race with, and getting in the truck and pulling the trailer. You're not going to leave her behind because she's getting in. What race are we going to? What state are we going to? The child's traveled a lot of states: Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Arkansas. She's been a lot of places chuckwagon racing, and it truly, um, she's a fan. She's going to be a racer, and I'm probably not going to be able to watch a lot.
Yeah.
It makes me a nerve, but if that's what the child wants to do, we want to stand behind her. And if we can do this at our farm and other kids can do this,
Mhm.
teenagers, even older people, we want to be, I call this our racers race.
Yeah.
And that's truly how we feel about
Well,
it.
and how's the Amish around there? Do you guys have very many Amish anywhere nearby?
We don't. We do at Seymour, Missouri, but it's not like at B&B, which is so
Yeah.
awesome that the
Mhm.
Amish community is there. That is great.
Well, I
So
saw Gerald at the race this weekend at Alabama, and I told him, I said
yes,
that part of the state has Amish, but I told him wrong. I said there's probably Amish right around there, but I guess I don't know right
yeah,
there.
not near us.
Okay.
They're mostly closest is about Seymour.
Well, we were,
I think they're more old school Amish.
yeah, we were
Yeah,
scheming.
it's a
We were talking about getting some
yeah.
flyers together for the Amish. Okay. Well, that's okay. So talk about the local community though. I mean, how have you been able to get the word out there? What kind of response are you getting locally? Is it
We are. We've been putting up flyers. Our Facebook page, we've had a lot of shares and stuff on our Facebook page. I had a couple of ladies drive up from Forsyth, Missouri on Saturday. They had seen the Facebook page and they just wanted to know where they might be going. So they drove up and pulled down the driveway, and the dogs barked, and I walked out and told them my doorbell let me know you were here, the little Sweeney. And so they were excited. They had been fans of Rock Bottom for 17 years, and they didn't want to travel far on Memorial Weekend. So they're coming up. And I have had people reach out to me from northern Missouri, right at the Iowa line. I had a lady call and she wondered, what does she need to bring? Can she bring her little dog? And I was like, yep, dog's on a leash, And so we've had people call,
Yeah.
check us out and stuff. So reaching out like that. Yeah. Chuckwagon channel. Thank you guys so much. This is,
Yeah.
I never dreamed we'd be able to do
It's
this
cool.
for our event, but after working with David at the B&B event, we've got to put this out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's amazing to be able to turn my TV on, and turn on the Chuckwagon channel so people can see what we enjoy so deep in our hearts. So I thank you guys so much for doing this because do you remember when the national championship DVD came out and everybody, when you could go to Clinton, Arkansas, and then you could buy the DVD? We talked about that,
Oh, I
David.
remember it.
That was like something when you waited in the mail for your DVD to get to you
Yeah.
so you could watch. Now we can watch that, and it's awesome. I love it.
That's super cool.
So,
Well, we're so
yeah.
glad we can be a part of what you guys are building, and I'm glad that we could make it happen in year one because I think you're gonna. It
Yes.
sounds like you're setting a great foundation for what's ahead, and it takes courage too. I did want to ask you, Brian. What are you looking forward to, and what's it been like up to this point for you out there, slinging the dirt and slinging all the hay and slinging all the stuff around?
We've had pretty good help with our local friends. Shannon's come and helped. Gerald's come down a weekend. And TJ, and just we've had, a couple work weekends already. We're going to try to have a couple more just to get their ideas on some things, like where to lay the track out, where to put the announcer stand. And we bought a big tent to put up in case it rains, so some people could get in out of the weather. And it's been crazy, but it's been fun so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewarding work.
Yes. Work.
Go ahead, Savannah.
Well, with only a month out from your event, what else would you want competitors or spectators to be aware of that, we didn't ask or might not have covered so far?
I don't know. We're putting together some added money for the Land Rush division, the Buckboard division, and the Classic division. And we chose to do those because those are the events that are more authentic to the sport, in our opinion. And so when they're hauling, their Land Rush wagon and they're hauling their Buckboard and they're hauling a Classic to each of these events, we would like to give back to the racers. We can't give a whole lot, but we're gonna make it worth the trip.
Yeah.
You'll have your fuel money. We're still waiting to hear back from a few people, so we do have some added money coming to the event, and we're excited about that. We have really nice buckles coming for the event. That David, I don't know if you've looked on our Facebook page, but I had a sketch made from a picture from Clinton, Arkansas of my two pleasure horses, my pleasure mares, my foundation bred mares, actually raced last year at Clinton on Sunday because two of Gerald's Classic division horses were injured
Okay.
in fence at camp. So he borrowed my mares and they ran on
At
Sunday.
Clinton?
And these mares had never, I don't want them to be out of a walk. If I have to trot to the porta potty, that's the only trotting that I want from these mares. But they came on the track in open face bridles, and those two red roan mares, bay roan mares, they made hands and they stayed right up for not being in racing track shape.
Did you say I was at Clinton?
So anyway, at
Oh,
Clinton.
that's cool. That's neat.
Yeah. So from a picture, Trish McMurray, a lady from Sparta, Missouri, Elkhead, actually, I sent her that picture and she did a sketch of those mares that I was able to use as art for our buckles.
Cool.
So our buckles literally have our mares
Oh,
on them,
That's super neat.
which I am really proud of that. So anyway,
Very cool. Well,
yeah.
we're excited for you guys, and we know it's going to be a great first a great first year. I wish that I could personally be there. Obviously, we had a prior obligation to get down to
Well,
Whiskey Ridge, but but we're gonna have a team there filming. We're gonna capture this. We're gonna show it on the Chuckwagon channel. We're gonna promote this thing, and we're gonna be a part of the growth. And we're excited for that. And
we're excited for you. We're excited because of you. We're excited for
well,
us.
we are just
Yes.
we're tickled to death whenever we hear a new race is popping up, and the passion that you have for it. I'm excited for the success of it, and I'm excited because that's where I'm from, is right in that area too. So to see
Yes.
more races popping up right there in my old stomping grounds, I'm excited for that. So as far as keeping people informed and everything, where can people go to find more information and stay up to date on everything as we're heading toward the race?
We have a Facebook page, Slingin' Wheels Chuckwagon Racing. It shows all of our vendors. It shows the pricing. It shows the schedule, the itinerary, about camping, phone numbers, address, all of that. If you go to our Facebook page, Slingin' Wheels Chuckwagon Racing, that's where you can stay hooked up with us at the best right now.
Well, your marketing director is doing a great job running that page.
She is. Oh,
because
and I love, thank goodness for Bryn Campbell.
I am
Yes.
now seeing how the lamp is set up, because she already posted behind the scenes, spoiler alert for you guys, and I'm looking at it and I love how it's set up, and that's pretty awesome. That's pretty
He's
awesome.
like, I'm blinded.
Yeah,
I'm blinded.
Yes, thank goodness for Bryn on all of this, because I'm just challenged in this area, and she has helped me out so much. Her and Shannon both have been implemental in helping
Yeah.
us with this race.
Super cool.
So,
Well, you guys,
hey,
we
Lily.
want to see
here,
Lily
sissy.
before we get off of here.
Okay.
And I do have one
sit down.
extremely unrelated question to ask you guys. We were talking about Sparta's mascot before you guys came on, and we were like, it's got to be the Spartans, right? No, it's the Trojans, which are like
It's
the
Trojans.
enemies of Sparta in ancient times. So my question is, how did we wind up as the Trojans out of the town of Sparta?
You know, I don't know. I grew up in the neighboring town of Ozark. We were tigers.
Ah,
And yes, so I don't even, Sparta's probably an older town than Ozark, actually. I don't know. But yeah, I can't answer that question for
well,
you.
if you find out, I need you to just relay it on down the line for me.
Okay, I will.
Lily, what
you're
are
on
you
TV.
doing?
You can't do that.
Lily, you're hilarious and cute.
She's been wanting to do a TikTok for a long time. So
Oh,
I told her, I said, you're kind of doing a
this is
TikTok.
the next
You're going
best
to be on
thing.
TV.
Everybody's gonna see you.
Everybody's going to see you, so you should set up and act
Oh yeah.
accordingly.
Hey,
Tell him what's on your shirt. What's on your shirt right here?
what does it say?
Okay, we've lost
Hey,
her.
Lily. Hey, Lily, will you wave at everybody for us? Actually, if everybody gets in there and smiles, we can make our thumbnail for the show.
Yes.
Here, come on. Let's get up here. Can you get up here and take a picture?
Big
Hey,
smiles.
stand up.
But hurry up
No.
if you want people to come.
Come
to
on,
your
if you want
race.
somebody to come to your race, you
Lily,
need to tell
Lily,
them
a
about it.
whole lot of people are going to see this. We need to see your best smile for just a second. Ready? All right, everybody smile. 1, 2, 3. All right.
There we go. We got that little laugh.
That's fun. Oh, we're getting ready to see you in just a couple of weeks here, Lily. I hope you're ready. It's going to be a big time.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, those two little black pony mares. Woo!
Man.
We'll see how they do.
All right. Well, we're going to cut you guys loose. We appreciate you coming out on the podcast today, and we're sure happy to know that somebody out there wanted to start another Chuckwagon race, and that's
Yeah.
very, very
Yes.
exciting. And I just know that it's going to grow, and it's going to be a success, and you guys are going to have years and years of this new legacy that you're starting. Whenever I talked to you on the phone, Molly, one of the things that was very remarkable about the conversation was how much you wanted this to be a thing for Lily. And so
Yes.
that's the right heart and the right passion, the right reasons to do one of these, because I don't think anybody would tell you that you should do it for the money. I don't know that that's been
Yeah.
the
No.
case so far, but yeah,
Yeah, B&B Farms. B&B Farms, if it wasn't for them, Lily would be racing in Clinton this year as Nova, little bit of B&B, passed down her spot in Land Rush to Lily.
What?
Her having that opportunity she doesn't know now,
Mhm.
but in 10 years,
Mhm.
Lily's going to realize what she has.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And racers doing that, especially the older racers and stuff, bringing that new generation up, that's where it's at.
It's awesome. Well,
So
we appreciate you guys coming on the show, and
thank
we'll
you.
be doing whatever we can do to help you guys promote this thing and get the word out there. And I'm rooting for you.
Bam.
Cool.
I love being able to use that little remove button. I feel so powerful.
Well, very cool. Okay, so we don't have any answers on this the Sparta Trojans. We don't
I know. So bummed.
We'll just have to do some research
I
elsewhere,
wonder
I
if I
guess.
just call the city hall or the city newspaper and start asking. Surely
Everybody-
somebody's got to know.
Maybe nobody knows, and that's why it happened.
Bless.
Somebody didn't really know at the start, and still nobody knows. So, yeah, well, exciting. A Memorial Day weekend race in Southwest Missouri and just south of Springfield. If you are in the Missouri area and you have not been to a race, that's going to be one to catch on Memorial Weekend, and you'll even have the extra day to recover because of Memorial Day. So make sure you go check out Sling and Wheel's Facebook page and just shoot them a question, and they will be very quick to respond. I know Mollie has been, and she's got Bren there helping to run the team. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. Pretty good, fun interview. I wish we could be there personally this year, but we will have our crew there, and we will get to watch all of those fun highlights and everything that those weeks following the race. So thanks for joining us today. We'll be back here next week. Who is our guest next week, Savannah?
It is Whiskey Ridge for our annual Cinco de Mayo episode.
Oh, my goodness.
Very exciting. Speaking of Whiskey Ridge, we do need to throw out a little reminder. I'm sure most of you guys already know, or most of you guys are already planning to attend Whiskey Ridge, but Whiskey Ridge is going... Sorry. I don't know if you hear my child rolling around on the ground. Apparently he had a great nap. Whiskey Ridge is going to be our first race in this Dash for Cash group of races this summer. That is when the SCWRA, ACWRA, and the Outlaw races are showing their support for one another and, of course, all of our competitors. Whiskey Ridge, the Buffalo River Dash for Cash, and Reggie Little Outlaw race are going to come together for a cash draw that we talked about several episodes ago. The requirements are for you to show up and qualify at all three races to be in those big cash drawings. And if you just show up and run but don't qualify, you're still in the running for a 250 drawing. But we will go into more details on that next week when we've got the Wheelers on and their whole bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Put on your sombreros because Cinco de Mayo with the Cindy and Todd Wheeler and the Whiskey Ridge bunch. It's going to be a big time. I know we've had a little bit of fun with them on the show before. So make sure you tune in and don't forget to subscribe and relive the ride at chuckwagonchannel.com.
Badger wants to say
and
hi.
we will see you and Badger out on the track.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.